Good evening, goblins, and welcome to another tasting night. It's Saturday night. It is the 31st of August 2019. It's Saturday night, and it is dry neck night. Yeah, not one for the new bottle design, I must say. Sean, this one I think is definitely one you should speak to the brewery about. They may have left the adjuncts in this one. Anywho, jokes aside, we're on for the beer tonight. The beer is indeed Dry Neck from Wychwood, and as I'm sure all goblins know, but people watching the channel may not, if you're not a member of the Wychwood Goblins, the deal is you have one of the beers that is fridge temp and one that is a bit warmer than that, and see which you prefer and give some tasting notes on each one. So it is, this one is the warmer of the two. It's a 4% golden beer to wash away the drought, and I've picked the hat today because on the bottle you've got Paul Pickering with his long neck, and he's got a hat on. So I thought I'd pick on a hat, and yeah, we'll go for that. So, what can I tell you about this beer? Well, according to Sean, it tastes a bit of onions, and one or two people reckon it tastes of onions. But it says the perfect beer to quench the driest of throats, and to be honest, it's a little bit parched in here. Mosaic hops release a combination of berry, fruity and citrus blast, resulting in a mouth-watering golden beer to wash away the drought. Now, I've not had dry neck before, but I have had plenty of beers with Mosaic in, and I find Mosaic lends a little bit of a dank note to it, so I'm hoping that translates in this beer. So what we're going to do, we're going to pour the slightly warmer beer into my Guinness pint glass, and we are going to pour the fridge temp beer into my hobgoblin glass and see what we get. So, bottle opener at the ready. We're going to go for the slightly warmer one first of all, into ye old Guinness glass. And the pour I expect to be golden. It is. It's pale. Clear as a bell. And we've got a little bit of head on there. We've got about a finger or so of white head. Pretty tight. It's like an open cell sponge really. But your beer is clear, golden, and lightly carbonated. That head is dissipating slowly, so we'll just top her off so we don't have a short measure of the bottle. There we are. So that's your slightly warmer one. And the fridge temp one into the hobgoblin glass as promised. I expect the same pour, perhaps with a little less head due to chilling. And that's exactly what I've got. I've got less head on that one, but fundamentally the beer looks the same. So we've got fridge temp versus room temp. They look exactly the same because, hey, it's the same as the bottled beer. There is no canned version that I'm aware of, and I've never seen it on cask either. But let's have a whiff of both, starting with the room temp. Well, it's not room temp, it's a bit warmer. Malt and a light hopping. The malt is muted on the fridge temp one. I'm getting a bit more of the hop, which is quite nice. I like hop, so. And there it is. There's that onion note that Sean was referring to. It's there. It's kind of bizarre. It's kind of like fried onions. It's just that sweetness that's coming off of it. I get it now. I do. I've had some beers with a savoury note before, and they have had a bit of an onion flavour. I've never had it on the nose. Anyway, that's that. So, the fridge temp one's a bit colder, and I think that mutes the malt flavours or malt aromas a little bit, and allows the hops to kind of sit forward in the profile. Let's taste the slightly warmer one. Balanced is what I'm going to say. There is a sweetness on that malt, and it's really nice. The hops kind of sit slightly back and add a little bit of Maybe you could call it citrus, I don't know. But it's nice. It is nice. It's light and refreshing. Let's go for the fridge temp version. Interesting. The slightly warmer version actually allows the flavours to mingle a little bit more in the mouth, and I'm not getting any onion flavour whatsoever from either the fridge temp or the slightly warmer one. But the colder one is more akin to a lager than the slightly warmer version of the beer. And by lager, I mean it's quite a muted flavour set. And it's unusual for me to find a pale beer that I prefer slightly warmer. But in this case, I think I prefer the ever so slightly warmer one. Now, how does it affect the body? Because we haven't touched upon that yet. So, slightly warmer one first. Light to medium. Has no effect on the body whatsoever. So, let's have a discussion on the finish of the beer. So with the warmer one, the malt is prominent on the profile, and that stays on the finish. It's sweet, sweet malt. There's no bitterness really for me in this beer at all. And it lingers, and it's a sweet finish. No real dryness, nothing untoward going on whatsoever. So for the fridge temp one, again, that sweetness is lost due to the chill, and that adds a little bit of bitterness to the finish. Which, when I think of it that way, I prefer them bitter. I prefer, when I'm drinking the beer, I prefer the flavour of the slightly warmer one, but I prefer the finish of the fridge temp. That's going to be tricky to kind of balance that in one beer. So, hey, maybe 2 beers is the way forward. Have a sip of the warmer one for the flavour. Finish it off with a sip of the colder one to get the finish that you want. That's what you call collaboration, ladies and gents. I like it. I like it a lot. It works wonders in my day-to-day job, and it works wonders in the evening when you're drinking a beer as well. So there we are. So I'm going to sum up by simply saying, dry neck, I prefer slightly warmer. It's a nice beer, and given I like pale beers, it was no surprise really. But what would I? Okay, let's give it a score. Would I buy it again? Now, I paid £1.25 for this. What was it? £1.20, £1.25 from Morrison's. So £2.50 at most for the pair. Would I buy it again? I would. I absolutely would. It's nice. It's a light beer. It's not heavy. It's clean enough on the profiles that it's not going to lead you one way or another towards a really hoppy beer, or you could drink it and go off straight off for a stout. It's not going to impact on what you have next, so it's balanced, it's clean tasting, it's fresh, it's nice. I like it. No onion on the flavour whatsoever. So yeah, I would buy it again. Would I rush out and buy it again? If I could get it easier, because it's quite a trek to my nearest Morrison's, then absolutely I'd rush out and buy it again. So I'll grab it if I'm passing, but I don't really go that way on purpose very often at all. So it'd be a struggle, but I would rush out and buy it again. And I'm going to score it a 4 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet, which I think is pretty good. So there we are. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a sip of each to end the video. And then I'm going to go live in the Goblins group on Facey and say hello to them all on there as well. So ladies and gents, thanks for watching. This has been Dry Neck. I've been Nick, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Bye.